Yo, I nearly forgot about this channel. Hi. So, I've been busy, but not that busy to the point where like I couldn't note things down as I normally do, because that's always going to be like a constant. Um, yeah, things have been hectic, but I'm back here again in my little safe space here, and I've got another piece of I don't know, what do you call this, writing? Writing sounds so bland. What do we call this? Like a passage, a reading, whatever it is, it's here. And okay, I labeled it semi-automatic writing. Okay, wait. Nothing makes sense. Everything feels like one big fabricated lie and a total joke. None of the events and circumstances in my life that I happen to find myself in seem to make any sense either. It's like I'm meant to serve a higher purpose on this plane of existence, and to such a degree that it would not make sense to me nor the average Joe, but only to the master ventriloquist behind the act. It's like, simply put, by virtue of my existence, I'm meant to serve as a karmic instrument, a tool to be utilized by higher forces and the powers that be to enact or deliver karmic justice and or dharma. I am the karma, dharma. All I am required to do is exist, and the triggering will start to occur on its own. Nothing I say or do makes any sense whatsoever. It's quite literally like it's not even me typing this passage out. I'm not saying any of this, and I'm not really thinking any of it, because it's coming from a higher source. I'm not really living my own life. This life, this body, it does not belong to me, neither do these emotions nor these thoughts, because I transcend it. I am beyond it alone, a double-edged sword, multifaceted and multi-layered. Thoughts are inherently delusion, as are emotions, as is so much in life. So much delusion. Skirmishing around the globe like cockroaches. Don't take offense to that. None of this is me. I'm so detached from the material, trying to find the sweet spot, the biting point, and the equilibrium. It seems like I have a tendency to overcome obstacles through divine intervention. And quite literally, it can at times feel like a miracle. But I know it's not so much luck as much as it is a blessing. It is more so a blessing. Interacting with people can at times worsen it. And by it, I mean being human, on this plane of existence. Having to exist alone is in itself and in a way suffering, but then having to interact with people that don't understand you on top of that, and people that are still immersed in Maya and again ego and delusion. It's like, what are we doing here? Stop. You start to realize what senseless drivel the both of you are communicating to one another. Every need, desire, want, and compulsion that I've ever had was never of my own volition nor my own doing, because it's all unfolding according to the script. The Great Flood comes to mind, because God works in mysterious ways, as do I. The universe is operating as itself through me. That's actually both thrilling and terrifying, never knowing what might come next, just flowing in tandem with the current, indefinitely. On stranger tides, like the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. That's what it feels like. Calmer waters. A walking juxtaposition. No wonder I have a tendency to scare people and make them uncomfortable. I'm reminded of this quote that I read somewhere that goes something along the lines of, I am not what you think I am. You are what you think I am. Because again, you understand, again, not to get all non-dual about this, but you understand and you can see that we're all mirrors and we're all reflections of one another, because Everything that you're interacting with in your environment, the people included, is an aspect of God. Everything in creation is God. Even the seemingly these intangible, yes, the intangible, but the tangible, inanimate objects is what I mean to say. It's all a figment, it's all a part of you, and it's all a part of God, because God is a part of everything and everyone. We're all interconnected. And even though it's not like readily visible to the naked eye, it is very much there, and it is very much an indisputable fact of the absolute and what reality really is, and what it really constitutes of. Sorry, I'm chewing gum in case you're like wondering why I'm swallowing so much. This thing's strong. Anyway, so you start to see through this facade, through the veil, if you will. And you essentially, because of that, and because it's something that only grace can grant you, it's something that only grace, it's a higher state of knowing that only grace can shift you into. And once you've realized it, once you're aware, once you've awakened, while you're still in the dream state, while you're still in this movie, this theater play, because we're all a bunch of characters. The way I like to look at it is, I like calling it emulation within a simulation. Because ultimately, that's what we all are. That's what this all is. Everything is a physical embodiment of God. And we all are. And we're all playing out our own separate roles, individually, on our own unique little paths, and fulfilling our own destinies, karma, that God has prescribed for us in this lifetime. And there's like a surrender, and there's a serenity, and there's an acceptance. Can I talk? There's an acceptance that comes with that, because you're allowing yourself to let go to this great unfolding, and you're just allowing it to take you wherever it is that you need to be. Because again, there comes a time and a place where you take initiative, and then there comes a time and a place where you just have to let the waters carry you to wherever it is that you need to flow towards or go. But that can only come from an intuitive level of discernment that you can only cultivate within. Because at the end of the day, it's all about harmony. And it might sound ironic because I'm a Libra and I'm saying this, because we're represented by the scales, but that's all that it is, It's harmony. It's about equilibrium. You know how they talk about work-life balance? Yeah. Balance in like mutual reciprocity in relationships. Equal exchange. Mutual exchange. Equal give and take. It's all just like bouncing off of one another. What else did I mention? It's very strange and extremely peculiar. And then, I don't know if any of you... I used to be a 21 Pilots fan growing up. I was like 13 or something. It was a phase, man. Anyway, one of my favorite songs was called Semi-Automatic. And the main lines in it goes, I'm semi-automatic, my prayer's schizophrenic, but I'll live on. And it was only recently that I really understood what Tyler was trying to communicate from my own perspective. My prayer's schizophrenic. Remember how I mentioned our thoughts are inherently delusion and nothing really makes sense? It only makes sense because we give it meaning. But technically, language in itself we're no different. We're just making noise with our mouth when you think about it. We're no different than the birds that chirp early in the morning, or the dogs that bark and the cats that meow. We're all just making noise. But it's in a weird way, because you know how they say that the universe responds to frequency? It's the frequency that the noise is emitting that then carries a certain or like a specific vibration into the universe. That's why they keep mentioning like your thoughts or your words have power, and you essentially speak things into existence. So if you're having a negative thought pattern or you're constantly speaking negative things out into the ether, it's going to respond to that. Because in this case, like would attract like. So the universe just understands it as, oh, this person keeps speaking negatively, so we're going to give them more of this because they say it so much, they're thinking it so much, so this must be what they want. Funny how that occurs. But yeah, it's very fascinating, and it's something that never fails to amaze me. That we're all just walking, breathing, living proof of God's wonders. We're all like little toddlers. I'm sure from God's perspective, we're like little toddlers. You know how they are? They just like crawling around. I love watching their minds work, you know. I never admitted this to many people, but I love children. I love children, especially toddlers, eh? And I love just watching their minds work. Like grabbing something and then trying to figure it out, and then maybe putting it into their mouths to try to get a sense of or a feel of the texture and a taste. And like it's just like we're all like these toddlers in life, just trying new things, just dipping our hands into different cookie jars, trying to figure everything out. And as begrudging as it can be at times and dismal, because this world is very cruel and corrupt and very evil, and there are some horrible, vindictive people in this world, there is just as much good as well. And I always prefer to look at life from or approach it from like a glass half full kind of perspective. I always choose to be optimistic, even in the face of negativity and resistance and stagnation and just monotony. Because there's always hope. And I know this because I'm speaking from experience. I've seen just how great and how how good our God is. And just how much prosperity there is left for us. And that I still have faith in humanity, no matter what. I still have faith in all of us because I see our potential and I see our ability to ascend and to become even better versions of the people that we are now. And that there's always hope for a brighter future. And that, they always say that children are our future. And however we choose to mold them is representative or indicative of what our future is going to end up looking like. But again, no matter how convoluted and strange this existence might seem, I still have hope and I still have faith in all of us. And I just hope that more people could see that. And that more people just chose optimism. Because serenity can ultimately always be found in the moment. I always say that whenever you're in doubt, look to Him and go within. Because you can always find sanctuary in here if you've done the healing work or the shadow work, and if you've integrated all aspects of the self. You can always find sanctuary inside and within. And there's always something better on the horizon. Always. And yeah, I'm not giving up, so neither should you. Because things are starting to look a bit scary now these days, isn't it? But yeah. Anyway, I'll leave you at that again. And I don't know when I'm going to return for another installment in this, I don't know, this YouTube channel that I've created. But whenever I do decide to come back, I'll come back with more positivity because this world needs more positivity, Christ. Anyway, thank you. Bye.